It's 8 p.m. and here are our top stories in 90 seconds. An ending we were all hoping for tonight. After 10 hours, a missing 12-year-old girl is found safe.
We have located her, and at this point right now, she is well.
Within the past few minutes, Aurora City Council finished a special session about the investigation into Elijah McClain's death.
We need to ensure nothing like that ever happens again.
And council members had questions about the department's handling of the case.
I believe that the police simply should not be investigating themselves.
Today, President Biden had encouraging news about access to the COVID vaccine.
This country will have enough vaccine supply, I'll say it again, for every adult in America by the end of May.
Plus, small businesses are taking it upon themselves to fight unemployment fraud.
You got it a day after it was due.
Exactly. Didn't give us enough time to respond back to the situation.
Contact Denver7 takes their concerns to the state labor department. And as dogs run free, tensions run high at Denver parks.
There was a woman who walked up to a group of small puppies and maced one of them in the face.
Now there's a community effort to create off-leash hours at parks.
Most of the dog owners I have spoken to say this is our compromise.
Good Tuesday evening, and thank you for watching Denver7 News on Local 3. I'm Jessica Porter. We first want to update you on the search for missing 12-year-old Catherine Gold. Within the last hour, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office said Catherine was found safe. Sheriff Tony Spurlock updated us, but was not able to provide many details about how she was found.
We spent a tremendous amount of resources, and those came to bear. We were able to locate her. I'll tell you, she was actually located in Arapahoe County, and one of our deputies has her in temporary custody right now. She will be checked out by medical staff and then returned to her parents.
Earlier today, deputies said Catherine left for school this morning on her bike, but never arrived at Mammoth Heights Elementary School. At the top of the hour, Aurora City Council finished up a special study session to discuss the independent investigation into Elijah McClain's death. It was a chance for City Council and Mayor Mike Kaufman to ask any remaining questions that were not asked last week. Before the meeting, Councilwoman Allison Coombs expressed concerns about the questioning of officers.
I believe that the police simply should not be investigating themselves, period. And so from my perspective, we need to establish a process that takes that investigation, not only outside of the department, but outside of the interdepartmental police culture.
Make sure to turn to Channel 7 tonight at 10 for a full update from tonight's meeting. Ramping up reopening. More states now rolling back COVID restrictions on the heels of that new Johnson & Johnson vaccine that went out this week. But health officials are warning a rush to lift restrictions could lead to another spike in cases. ABC's Andrew Dimbert is tracking the latest developments from Washington.
An encouraging development in the fight against COVID-19.
This country will have enough vaccine supply, I'll say it again, for every adult in America by the end of May. By the end of May. That's progress.
The White House invoking the Defense Production Act in a historic partnership between two traditional big pharma rivals, Merck and Johnson & Johnson. This in an effort to ramp up vaccine distribution and get 100 million doses ready by the end of May. Teachers, staff, and child care workers prioritized.
The goal is to do everything we can to help every educator receive a shot this month, the month of March.
With 3 vaccines now in circulation, many states are lifting restrictions, some dramatically. Texas Governor Greg Abbott announcing the Lone Star State is ready to return to normal as early as next week.
All businesses of any type are allowed to open 100%. Also, I am ending the statewide mask mandate.
But the CDC is urging states to reconsider reopening, imploring Americans to follow guidelines. A reminder, COVID isn't over, with a warning about a potential 4th wave if restrictions are lifted too abruptly.
I remain deeply concerned about a potential shift in the trajectory of the pandemic.
Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, as millions of struggling Americans are turning to Washington for a financial lifeline in wake of the crisis, President Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus package now lies in the narrowly divided Senate. Senate. Democrats and Republicans again can't seem to agree. The latest holdup, coronavirus funding for schools.
We have to crush the virus. We have to get our economy back on track. We have to get Americans back to work. And we all know how the bill delivers.
Republicans pushing back, saying the bill isn't targeted enough at tackling the virus.
There are a number of things in here that have nothing to do with COVID relief.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
And J&J get along. As we've reported, Colorado will receive around 45,000 doses of the J&J vaccine this week. Immediately after that, nothing.
That there will likely be 0 Johnson & Johnson doses the following week. And then the week after that, perhaps a small amount. It could range anywhere from 0 to a similar amount to what we got this week. And then finally, those supplies will increase dramatically in 2 to 3 weeks. And the White House estimates that by the end of March, there will be about 5 to 6 million doses that are distributed each week across the entire country.
Pfizer and Moderna are still coming in strong with weekly shipments, and shots are going into arms. Governor Polis announced today that 70% of Coloradans 70 and older have been vaccinated. High school football, field hockey, gymnastics, boys soccer, girls volleyball, and bowling have all been cleared for practice. Most will start working out on the 8th. Football teams that didn't play in the fall will start practicing on Thursday. New tonight at 8, the Douglas County School Board announced a plan for middle and high school students to return to full in-person learning. The board recommended students return starting March 22nd. This is just in time for the fourth quarter of school. The parent group that was calling for board members to be recalled from their positions say that effort has been stopped with this new plan. Dogs love to run wild, and Denver7 is hoping to grant them that freedom at city parks. She launched a petition to allow dogs off leash during certain hours of the day. Denver7's Addie Guajardo joins us live at Highland Park with the proposal she has. Addie.
Well, Jessica, Mary Francis launched a petition, and this is her home park. Urban parks like these require dogs to be on leash. But as you can see behind me, it's 8 o'clock at night and not a single soul is in sight. It's why she's proposing that these dogs be allowed off leash around 9 o'clock till early hours in the morning. She says it'll create a safer environment for people and allow dogs to get the exercise they absolutely need. But not everybody's on board.
Having dogs off leash at Denver city parks violates city rules and regulations.
Her name is Rissa.
It's a rule Lucas says he wasn't aware of.
Are they not?
And others choose to violate.
I've seen a lot of tension grow in the neighborhood.
Mary Francis says the tension is over dogs off leash.
There was a woman who walked up to a group of small puppies and maced one of them in the face.
It's why she launched a change.org petition called Denver Off Leash Dogs. She's proposing allowing dogs off leash in city parks from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m., which means extending park hours.
We would, of course, prefer more hours. We would prefer daylight hours, but we're willing to sacrifice that so that the kids can have the park in the daytime and we can still use our community resource to exercise our dogs.
Denver is home to 12 dog parks. Mary says it's just not enough for the thousands of dogs that call this city home. Sydney is helping the petition gain traction, adding that it's great for dogs and kids.
Be more socialized in a nice open space. Kids can get to know dogs better, like they can make really good friends with dogs.
Nearly 800 people have signed the petition.
I think that's how it should be.
100% for it.
But some raised concerns.
Maybe if someone's biking, then dog runs in front, then they might crash or something like that. Or, God forbid, like someone gets bitten or something. That's a huge issue.
Ben is on board with the late night hours, but not the morning hours, adding that not everyone is comfortable with dogs off leash.
I think these working class folk with families are getting up early before work, taking their dogs on long walks.
Mary says it's a compromise and a cost-effective way to use community resources.
Setting designated hours allows people to know who are concerned about dogs, that those are the hours they don't go to the park.
She says it's not a free-for-all. Pet owners must stay in control of their dogs and pick up after them, as rules currently require. A spokesperson with Denver Parks and Recreation tells Denver7 they welcome comments and evaluate all ideas, adding that they will review the petition once it's submitted.
Now, currently, Denver City parks are open from 5 a.m. until 11 p.m. Mary hopes to get 1,000 signatures on that petition. She says if that works out, she hopes to push for a pilot program for off-leash dogs here in District 1. She says if that proves to be successful, she hopes to make it a citywide rule. Reporting live in Denver, Addie Guajardo, Denver7.
It's not my job. It's not my job at all.
Small business owners have enough on their plate already. Now they're having to fight unemployment fraud themselves.
How many have you seen in the last month?
We've had 6.
You've had 6 fraudulent unemployment claims just in the last month.
Correct.
Tonight, Contact Denver7 goes to work for them, taking their concerns right to the state.
We had a warm one today, but there is some snow coming up in the 7-day.
Plus, coming up later.
I'm excited to get the vaccine. I was kind of nervous too initially. I wasn't fully decided.
Coloradans share their vaccine stories in hopes to build confidence for others in our state.
After they've had their first one and they come back, and they're just, you can just see the relief all over their face.